people already group you with because he's also an up-and-comer is Boots. Boots Ennis, who's fighting Lipinets next. Do you think that's a fight that happens more down the road, or is that someone you're looking closely as he comes up as well?
Yeah, and you know what? A lot of people say that I'm ducking him. I'm not ducking him. There's no point in that fight being made right now, you know? I want to fight the best. You know what? I feel like we gotta weed out the old boxers right now, and then make room for you know, fighters like me and Boots. You know, that's gonna be a good fight later on down the road, and no one's ducking nobody. Trust me.
Yeah, I don't watch him fighting or that, so I don't know how his style is. I see like little highlights on Instagram. They be going through the feed and all that stuff, but definitely can make that fight happen. I love that fight.
Dontaesboxingnation, what's going on, guys? All right, so you heard the two clips that I just played. One was from Virgil Ortiz. The second clip was from Jarron Ennis. You'll notice when Virgil Ortiz spoke, he said that fight, it really makes no sense. There's no point in fighting Jarron right now. We should be fighting sometime later down the line. Let's get the old people out of the way first, or the older fighters out of the way first. But it's funny because that sounds very similar to what Teofimo Lopez said about Devin Haney at one point. Because Teofimo, he said that fight should be 3 to 5 years down the line. But by way of contrast, Jarron Ennis, he's saying that he would love that fight right now. And by the way, guys, that clip I played from Jarron Ennis, he said that a year ago. He was ready to fight him then. So we continue to see this pattern over and over in the sport of boxing. There's always one fighter who wants to fight now, and then the other guy is saying, let's let the fight build up. That'll be a good fight down the line, which we know what that translates to. I think we can all agree that if you have two undefeated fighters and one is willing to fight now and the other one wants to fight later, then clearly one of those guys has a lot more confidence in his ability, and we know which one it is. And this is what makes Devin Haney the boogeyman at 135. Because Devin Haney, he has been calling out Teofimo from day one. He was calling him out way before Teo beat Lomachenko, before he even beat Richard Comey. Devin wanted to fight him, not because of what he did in the ring, but because he was another undefeated fighter that was trying to be the best in his division, right? That was enough for Devin Haney to want to fight him. He's undefeated. Devin wants to be the first person to beat him. And that's the mentality you have to have if you're aspiring to be the best in the world. Now, going back to Virgil Ortiz saying that, you know, let's get the older fighters out of the way first. And he also said in that piece, you heard him say, I want to fight the best. So the question is, if Virgil Ortiz is not going to get the Terrence Crawford fight, who is he going to fight outside of that? Now, I could understand if Virgil Ortiz, he end up landing a Keith Thurman fight or a Sean Porter, a Danny Garcia, someone like that. That would make sense. It would be a safer fight for him than a Jarron Ennis fight, and it would be a step in the right direction. You can't really criticize him if he were to get one of those fights. But the question is, what if he doesn't get one of those fights? Who is he going to fight? If you got Jarron Ennis that's willing to fight you right now, and you can't get, once again, Crawford, you're not fighting against Errol Spence, where does he go from there when he says that he wants to fight the best? Something's got to give. You know, sometimes I wonder if a lot of Virgil Ortiz fans deep down, they feel sorry for him. Because let's face it, Virgil Ortiz is in the division where it could be argued the two top best fighters in the world, at least talent-wise, are in this division. You got Terrence Crawford, you got Errol Spence, and now you have Jarron Ennis. So you can even include him when it comes to some of the most talented, not pound for pound yet, but certainly one of the most talented fighters in the sport of boxing. They're all in this division. I mean, how many divisions do we have two pound for pound fighters in at the top of the division? So this is the division that Ortiz is in. I mean, he doesn't have the luxury of a Canelo Alvarez, where Canelo is fighting in probably the weakest division in boxing right now. which is why Canelo Alvarez didn't want to unify at 160 and 154, but he's more than willing to do it at 168. So for Ortiz, there are no Abney Yildirim's for him to fight for a vacant title, right? There are no Rocky Fieldings for him to fight for a title. All of the champions are extremely tough at 147. And Ortiz, he can't pull a Teofimo Lopez and threaten to move up to a higher weight class because he thinks maybe it'll be an easier fight up there. Because if Ortiz were to move up to 154, then by that time, he'll be fighting the undisputed junior middleweight champion of the world, Jermell Charlo, who will probably even have a size advantage over Ortiz. So once again, Ortiz does not have the options that a Canelo or a Teofimo Lopez or even a Ryan Garcia or even an Oscar Valdez has. Because all of those guys that I just mentioned, they've been called out by dangerous fighters and they found ways to avoid them. And I don't know if Virgil Ortiz is going to be able to do the same thing. I mean, unless he's going to just continuously fight the Maurice Hookers in the division. But if he's not going to fight Jarron Ennis, I would love to see Ortiz versus a Keith Thurman, a Sean Porter, even Ugas, a Udonis Ugas, after he loses to Errol Spence. That would still be a good fight for Ortiz or for Jarron Ennis. Matter of fact, Jarron Ennis has already said he wants Thurman and Ugas. So we'll see how it plays out. But, once again, when guys say that fight will be down the line, they're basically telling you that they don't feel that they're ready for that guy. Keep in mind, Jarron Ennis and Virgil Ortiz, they're the exact same age. Okay, so this is not a situation where Jarron has way too much experience and, Ortiz, he needs to gain more experience before he gets in the ring with someone like that. They're the exact same age. So we'll see how it all plays out. But we should definitely get some really, really good fights within the next year when it comes to the welterweight division. I mean, you got 4 undefeated fighters in the welterweight division. So eventually somebody's O is definitely going to go. That's all I got for now, guys. I'm on to the next one.
An important message from Youth Fountain Laboratory, makers of VasoFlux and VasoFlux for Men. If you're over the age of 35 and over the years you've eaten pizza, dairy foods, deli meats, or meats with fat, you are likely to have some degree of plaque buildup in your veins and arteries. This increases your risk of suffering a stroke or heart attack exponentially, and no one wants such a catastrophic event to occur. Introducing Blackout. Blackout is made of all natural ingredients proven to help dissolve clots in the blood, remove calcium deposits and plaque from the walls of veins and arteries, improve viscosity of the blood, improve elasticity of the veins and arteries, treat varicose veins, and prevent the reoccurrence of plaque buildup. For more information, visit Youth Fountain Laboratory at youthfountainlab.com or call 1-800-853-7856. And remember, to help unclog veins and arteries, get the Blackout.
All right, now check this out, guys. If you're looking to repair eczema scars, burns and bruises, dark spots and blemishes, then this right here is the perfect product for you guys. It's called Elodiki Face and Body Oil. Athletes and top-ranking boxers, they're also using it after training to reduce swelling, inflammation, and to ease the pain. So get yours today. Go to elodiki.com, like them on Facebook, and follow them on Instagram. Fellas, I've got some great news for you. If you've lost your hair or have a receding hairline, the time has come when you can finally get your hairline back through a process called scalp micropigmentation. So here's how it works. It's a hair tattoo that replicates the look of your hair follicles when you have fully shaved it down. So to get this hookup, make sure you follow and contact my man ScalpCarolinas on Instagram.
Love that.